what really grinds my gears? Well, used to anyway. Is people who are in public space where they do not belong. Well, I'll be talking about it later, but for today, I want to talk about one of my favorite places in Taichung for now, and why is it related to the title, third places. So, what is third places exactly? So, third places, in a nutshell, is a term to refer to a place that is not your home nor your workplace, and the place is a public place. So basically, for example, cafe, parks, mall, anything, etc. It should be accessible to public to a certain degree, of course, and that's pretty much it. I'll give the more professional definition right here, but in a nutshell, that's all you have to know. So, this place, this public space, this third place, as you may, is one of my favorite places in Taichung. I'm going to show you the name here and address here. I don't want to butcher the name, so here we go. So basically, it's a place where you can hang out with friends and play cards. Here, they have a lot of board games, a lot of like card plays, and a lot of like action figure, a lot of figure kit that you can build yourself. But I'm here mostly for the card games, board games, anything you want to call it. So one of the reasons why I went here in this first place is because a friend of mine invited me and I took the request. And so I met a lot of new people here and I play games with them, of course. So let's go back to what grinds my gears the most. People in public places where they are not supposed to. It's actually a pretty terrible thing, to be honest. Okay, this is me before I'm getting educated, before I become a better person. So yeah, just in case. So I live in this residence, and in this residence we have what is called a sports station. Basically a place where they have swimming pool, they have a gym, they have an empty space you can rent for yoga, an indoor place, and they have also a field where you can also rent it for soccer, for badminton, and all sort of that stuff. Now, outside of the building, there is obviously a parking lot for people who wants to use the sports area, but there's also a huge pond of fish. Now, back when I'm in Indonesia, every afternoon when I go past the sports station, there's always a bunch of people who I know not from our residence who used to hang out there. They're bringing their kids, their families, and they're just sitting there. They're not even using the sports station. They're just sitting there and chilling out. And that makes me quite upset because it was supposed to be a place where people who are supposed to use the sports station, park their cars or park their bike. It's not supposed to be a place to hang out. And I just think that the area there become less conducive with them hanging out and chilling there. But it was not until I actually studied what a third places is, I began to realize that, something is definitely wrong with this area. Because third places are supposed to be accessible to public. That is one of the reasons that they are called a third places. Unfortunately, these people, they do not have third spaces in their area. This place that they should have to hang out just with their family, to stroll down on the afternoon, they just don't have it. And I just realized how privileged it is to have an accessible third place where you can just go there without thinking about how much you will spend there. And that's when I realized how much of a terrible person I was, and I shouldn't have think about it that way, because empathy, duh. But I also starts to feel that way, the same way as those people who hang out on the parking lot of the sports station feel in Taiwan. Because at first I didn't know anyone here and I felt so isolated. Other than my dormitory and my college and my classes, I have nowhere to actually just relax and sit and just hang out with friends. So knowing that I have this place that I could share my passion, my interests, my hobbies. It is such a privilege to being able to share a community together. And that's what I think it is very important for us to have a third place and to just have something other than not going to work and go to work. In this case, well, studying, but it's the same concept. While the people who hang out in front of the parking lot of the sports station, they do not have the same privilege as I am. And I should have known that. And that's terrible of me to not know that. And I just want to say that I kind of realize that the feeling they have to the feeling of isolation that I have here, of course, it's not the same one-on-one feelings. I kind of feel it in a way that I don't have a place to belong here, and now I do. And it is the most wonderful thing ever. I shouldn't judge them from the beginning. It's such a terrible idea to judge them, and I've changed. And yeah, that's all I have for today. So, bye!